You are listening to the Live Your High Frequency Life podcast, and I'm your host, Teal Shu. In this podcast, you'll discover how to step into your natural, innate frequency and the highest frequency of the universe, love, to create and live the soul-aligned life you want. If you're a woman who wants to love yourself so completely, stand so fully in your infinite sovereign soul power, be your own safe haven, fill your own cup, and be so financially independent you quit feeling trapped by someone, something, or somewhere, then this podcast is for you. Because you deserve to be unmessable with by the world and live the high-frequency, soul-aligned life you love that is your birthright. And I'll share with you how you can start creating this reality for yourself through your frequency. But raising your frequency isn't about doing more. It's really about untangling yourself from the programming of the world, choosing love over fear, and living as your soul with your identity rooted in love. And when you embody this, your frequency automatically rises. You radiate the high frequency you that you were born as, and you start changing your life. I'm glad you're here. Welcome. Hey, welcome back to this episode. I'm so glad you're here. So this episode is called People Pleasing and the Economy. And if you're hearing that, you're maybe like, what? What are you talking about? How are those two things connected? Well, I'm going to get into that. But where this is going, and a little story and inspiration at first that got me into creating this episode. But where we're going is basically, things are a little chaotic right now in the world when you're listening to this. Economy going up, going down, sideways, inside out, left or right, whatever. Financial circumstances of the world, the financial structure of the world is changing. Governments, money, baby, markets. There's a lot going on. And people are getting a little bit into their fear on this. When I say a little bit, you know what I mean really is a lot. So, and that may be you. Even when you are affluent and wealthy and rich, you know what? We all still have money stories for the most part. So let's dig into this because my intention is to offer you some perspectives that lead you into peace. Offer you some perspective that keep you moving on the path to even greater financial independence and comfort and peace and joy and confidence, right? No matter what the financial circumstances of the world are doing right now. So let's dive in, okay? So my inspiration for this, recently I was chatting on email with an acquaintance who I know from the equestrian industry, right? And if you've been with me for a little while or familiar with, right, I came from the corporate world, Fortune 500, top performing international project manager and engineer, yada, yada, yada. Left that, started my own business, my first foray as an entrepreneur in the equestrian industry, because horse girl here, even though I am not currently a horse mom. And Sterling Essentials, that was my business. I created my own line, engineered, all natural, non-toxic products to care for leather in the horse industry, right? Saddles, boots, tack, like all that stuff, all natural. Okay, long story short, I know the industry. I know the industry. And this acquaintance, right, connected with me and was telling me about, and in her words, struggle, right? Her businesses in the equestrian industry are struggling right now. Retailers aren't buying, consumers aren't buying. March was fairly, or February was fairly decent. And then March, stuff, just sales dropped, right? Things are hard. She's been doing all these promotions, all these sales, all these things to drum up more business, get in more retailers, get with more consumers, get the word out, blah, blah, blah. People aren't buying, people are saving, they're hoarding, they're not buying all this stuff. Money, 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 money. And it was then well, what insights do you have? Do you have any other insights? And I was just like, oh, okay, taking a deep breath here because you know what? Just a few years ago, that was me. I was there in that place, and maybe you've been there too. Maybe there are parts of this that you are still resonating with as well, especially if you're an entrepreneur or if you are forward facing in a sales role or a client role in your career where you are employed, or even other areas of your life where there are times when it feels like, the world is shifting and suddenly people aren't buying. And you know what? Sales is then your revenue, and then you know what? Your paycheck, especially if you're an entrepreneur, right? Where else does your funding into your business come from if not from what you generate in revenue? So if you are not generating in revenue, where do most people go? Fear, right? Right? Fear tied to money. Because in our culture, money is tied to what? What is money tied to? Money is tied to your survival, your safety, your financial security, right? We have been taught to tie those two things together. But the thing of it is that money is not safety. Money is not security. What money is to live more conveniently, to live more comfortably, to live more flexibly, to live with even maybe more options. But even that is a story for sure, because you always have options, unlimited options in the universe. But culturally, we've tied these things together. So when stuff gets a little pressury, right? We get very quickly, most women very quickly get into fear about their finances and where their money is coming from and when it's going to come and how it's going to come and what that's going to look like. You're wanting the predictability, right, of that money flowing. And especially if you're an entrepreneur, well, you don't have that predictability, right? That is a control mechanism. And control is another word for fear. Because you want the control, right, to feel secure, to feel at peace. But that's not how it works. That's not how it works. Control is the illusion, right? You don't control anything. From one minute to the next, what do you actually really control? Nothing. There's nothing that you control. So that's another episode about control, for sure, or several for that matter. But where this was going, right? This email and this information I was receiving from this acquaintance, and I'm like, yeah, that was so me. That was so me. And then immediately, where did I used to go and where I saw my acquaintance go and where I see most women go, even if they are successful or financially affluent or wealthy in some way, because this story is so prevalent, we think, okay, how am I going to get more money when times are tight? Okay, well, I'm going to do more to please my client. I'm going to do more to drum up sales. I'm going to do more to get the word out. I'm going to do more to bring in more revenue. And what does that then generally look like? Well, everybody's in fear and tightening their wallets. So that means story that, you know what? They may not have the money to buy my stuff. So I'm going to drop my prices. I'm going to do a sale. I'm going to extend my payment terms, so people can, pay me back in time a little more, even if, that's really rough on my cash flow, right? You know what I'm talking about as a business owner. Cash flow is a very important metric that we pay attention to, right? You start extending your payment terms and you start messing with your cash flow, and then you get yourself in hot water very quickly into paying your own bills, your own solvency, right? So where I used to go, and I compassion, oh my gosh, so much compassion. I was just like, oh, love and hugs, because I feel the frustration. I feel the fear. Like, I've been there. I get it. I've got the t-shirt. When there is that pressure and doubt and fear coming up about business and sales and the economy and things, if people are tightening up, what are you going to do? Then we get into actions of restriction and constriction, right? We stop spending. We offer sales and discounts and, like I said, promotions and all these other things, and start devaluing our services and our products and our goods. That's all fear-based. And it's all people-pleasing. Because you are then trying to manipulate other people to still buy with you. Despite the fact that they are probably, for the most part, the people you're selling to, for the most part, are into their fear and their stories and their nonsense. And here you are coming with, my promotion and my sale and my extended payment terms. And you're trying to ameliorate basically their fears to make it easier for them to then still buy from you while you are in your fear that they won't buy from you and how you're going to manage your money. Do you see how this works? You're in your fear, trying to convince them to still take action while they're in their fear to ameliorate your fears by getting money from them. It's this funky fear loop. And as you know, frequency creates frequency. Like creates like. So you in your fear, well, you're just going to create more of what you are creating with that energy. Your fear is creating more lack energy, returning back to you. Because everything is reciprocity. As you give, you receive. So by people pleasing, when you feel like times are in an economic whirlwind or there's pressure, by people pleasing in your career or your business in order to get wealth, you are preventing yourself from getting wealth, because like creates like. You are in the fearful energy and you get what you put out. You only create to the level at the energy that you are in while you are creating. So if you are putting out content while you are fearful, if you are talking to clients, if you are selling, if you are in creating promotions or anything else from the intention of, I need money, gotta have, or the energy of, what if this doesn't work and they don't buy, or, oh gosh, what's going on with the money? It's hard to get money. People are saying it's hard to sell right now. People aren't buying. Fear energy. If you are in all of those variations, any and all of those many variations, what are you putting out? That frequency is a lack frequency, that fear frequency. And as you put out lack, you receive lack. In whatever way, shape, form that may look. Lack of money. And it may come back even in other forms, which I talk about inside my programs. Put out lack about money, well, you can have that compensated with then lack of health, lack of relationships, lack of peace, lack of joy. It can come back in so many other ways besides just lack of money. So this is so toxic. This is so dangerous even. To place your wealth creation in any kind of circumstances, regardless of the economy, on whether someone else is going to buy from you or not, whether someone else is going to give you money or not. You're placing that power on people and strangers and even people you know. And then you are people pleasing, right? To try to get them to do what you want to do, which is buy. And this is so toxic, and we don't even realize it. That's okay. Oh my gosh, big hugs to you. No shame. This is not where you go and beat yourself up. Oh my gosh, no. Give yourself a hug right now and such love, because look, you are becoming aware of this, right? We're just doing this as our air quote normal in what we're taught in our society. This is how we get ahead, right? Times are tough. Do a discount. This is the behavior we have been taught, the programming. And that's okay. And now you know, so let that go. And just give yourself love and grace. Now you have a new perspective and a new way of being, which then I'm going to share with you. Think about what it is you're really looking for here. And as I alluded to this before, you're really looking for with this money what? You want what? Financial freedom, right? You want peace. You want the feeling of security. You want comfort. You want the lifestyle. But all of that, what comes it down to really is that feeling. Peace, joy, financial freedom, feeling comfortable and confident and secure in your finances. Even if that's a little bit of illusion. Because again, there is no security, right? Money's just money. But that's what you're looking for. So instead of approaching this whenever times are, air quote, tough or looking a little tumultuous, but again, no matter what the circumstance, money's great, world's great, economy's great or not, if you imagine right now that you have financial freedom, you are financially independent, secure, rich, 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 money out the ears, or whatever that looks like for you, right? Would you be doing the actions you are doing right now to create wealth for yourself? Chances are, no. If you are already financially independent and confident in that, would you be running this sale because you're afraid, and you're running this sale because you want to drum up business in a air quote down economy? Would you be doing that? No. Would you be chasing money? Would you be chasing clients? Would you be sending that email that then, even as much as you were trying to drum up a new client, it still had this like kind of heavy, fearful, and hopefully, I trust, not desperate energy in it, but yes, it can even get to that too. Well, all of that energy leaks through into your email. And energetically, even if it's not in the words, it's in the energy of what you created. Would you be doing that if you were financially independent and secure and feeling comfortable right now? No. So this is then the place to pay attention to and work from, right? What would you be feeling if you were financially independent and free, right? Joy, peace, confidence. Would you have patience? Right? Would you realize that everything goes up and goes down and it's just a cycle and all of this too shall pass? Would you realize and feel confident because you know that money loves to flow? Money's job is to flow. Money is meant to flow. And so just continuing to circulate money ensures that more money continues to circulate back to you. Would you trust, right, in cosmic law and ancient wisdom, right? That as you give money, you receive back many times over with an open heart? Would you continue to give and circulate as best you are able, no matter what? And trust that money is always there for you? Money is always filling up your bank account over and over and over? There's always more than enough money? And that everything is working out in your best and highest good. Everything is working out for you better than you even imagine. Yes. Yes. This energy, abundance, gratitude, peace, trust, right? Confidence, courage, patience. Patience is such a good one with money. Patience with anything. Patience, right? This is the place to work from right now. In a tumultuous economy, and all the time, no matter the circumstances. But this is the energy that then creates what you want in life. It creates then the greater wealth, right? Because not only that does it create, because like creates like, so energy you're putting out then opens the door for energy coming back to you, abundance energy. But also this is the frequency, high frequency of love. Love, trust, peace, gratitude. And when you're in that place, what happens? You become aware of the guidance of your soul, the guidance of the universe, intuition. All of that information is always there for you. But when you are in fear, guess what? You're deaf as a post. It's there, but you sure ain't hearing it because the universe and your soul speaks love. And you're over here speaking in some foreign language with your fear, and you cannot hear that wisdom coming to you, unique wisdom that is coming to you already, and you become aware of, that guides you through these tricky, funky, crazy, weird, up and down, round and round times, that will see you through, that will put you on this path of peace and trust and financial abundance that you were looking for so much more easily than you trying to think your way through it and you continuing to react from fear, which keeps you just in this same place, churning around on this level of fear. Get in touch with this unique wisdom coming to you to find your way. It will not steer you wrong, because this then you are aware of it and allows you to step into taking aligned action. Opportunities you don't see before are coming to you in that unique wisdom. Grab them, act on them in love, in possibility, in joy, in peace, and gratitude. Doors opening in ways you didn't even imagine for lucrative opportunities or other possibilities that you are blind to when you are in fear. This is so important. This is so important. It's not just the energy of what you are putting out, right? To then create, money, right? But it's opening you up to the wisdom that leads you on the path to then creating that wealth in alignment with the universe, to co-create that wealth with the universe as well, in a much more easeful way, giving you peace of mind along the way. So it's this twofold thing. And I'm not talking about imagine now I'm a person who has financial freedom and independence right now and act like that and be like that and do those things. I'm not talking about fake it till you make it. I'm not talking about, I'm just going to chuck out $2 million right now to buy, I don't know, whatever, a $2 million house, when that is not your physical reality right now. I'm not talking about, air quote, reckless or, air quote, extreme behaviors with your finances. No, I'm talking about feeling. I'm talking about frequency. I'm talking about emotion. The emotion and frequency of who you are and how you're feeling when you are already financially independent. Peace, love, gratitude. I know I've repeated this several times, but this is so important. And repetition is the mother of all learning. We learn better as humans the more we hear and repeat. So this is about the frequency and the feeling and the energy of that. Holding and being in that energy as much as you can. And we're human. We're not going to be there all the time. And that's just fine. That's just great. We are meant to feel all of the things as humans. But then to use your intention and consciousness to move into that frequency as much as possible. And you can do that right now, regardless of your circumstances, which taps you into this awareness of your unique wisdom from your soul in the universe, which then, boom, 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 did you hear me say this before, guides you to the aligned action, soul aligned, energetically aligned action that leads you into further growth, expansion, abundance, the things you want. It's not just you just taking random action and spending random money and acting like you are rich, right? Without the aligned action piece of it. That you just don't randomly, I'm chucking money here and I'm chucking money there. No. Emotion, frequency, feeling. This is what it's about. Acting in that place. Choosing to be in that state and that frequency. And choosing to not do things that are not in that frequency, which goes back to before of hey, would you do the discount? Would you do the sale? Would you do the, off energy desperation email? Would you extend the terms? Would you do this? Would you do that? Just to create more wealth, just to try to create more wealth from this place of fear. Versus if you were already financially independent, would you really do that? Chances are you wouldn't. So think about that. Be aware of that. And that's really your takeaway in this time to create more wealth for you in a up and down, round and round, who knows what, unpredictable economy. First things first, how do you want to feel? How do you want to feel? Peaceful, joyful, loving, grateful, rich and abundant? Well, choose to feel that now. If you already were in peace and confident and joyful, would you be making these fearful-based financial choices now? Would you be saving and hoarding? Would you be stopping spending? Would you be cutting prices and slashing your value? Would you be kowtowing, trying to people please with customers? No. Choose how you would behave with peace and love. You would hold your value, right? You would honor your value. And you would look for other ways to support and create wealth for yourself. And that guidance you're looking for is going to come to you then through your soul. So open your ears and your heart and your mind and your body and every cell, every bit of your energy to be aware of the answers from your soul and the universe to guide you on creating more physical wealth and money in your life. And trust, where does this money come from? Whole other episode to talk about, but where does money come from? Money comes from source, consciousness, the universe. Does not come from people, does not come from things. It is infinite and abundant and eternal, and that because it is energy, and that energy comes from the universe. So turning your attention and first thought to trust in the universe to provide you with monetary financial abundance, coupled with holding your frequency, being open to awareness, to hear your unique wisdom so you can take aligned action to then co-create this physically in the here and now. Bingo! So much more peaceful place for you to be a part of. And also then to create what it is you're wanting in your life. Turn your attention here. Put this on like coat of peace and confidence and courage and patience and love and financial abundance. Because in truth, you already are financially abundant. It's infinite in the universe. You are rich beyond all measure. You are rich in all the riches of the universe across all incarnations and eternity already. It's just about creating that energetically in physical form here in this incarnation. And this happens with the things that I'm talking about to you here today. Okay? So this is the message for you. This is where you find peace. Okay, it's not in the fearful churn to create. It is in the peace. It is in the peace. Okay, so, I'm going to leave it there for you for now, but big, big hugs to you. I know times are absolutely crazy, and so just give yourself love and compassion and grace. You have got this. You so really do. And honor and love yourself by stepping into this energy and continuing to practice and intentionally choose to step into this energy. It is a practice, right? It takes repetition, building that muscle. So the world needs you. Times are nuts, right? Choose love, go serve, help how you are meant to help here on this earth and lift others up. And guess what? By doing that too, you create more for yourself as well, because everything is reciprocity when it's done with an open heart, creating that back for you as well. So, all right, big hugs to you. Shine bright, choose love. Remember, love is always the answer. Thank you for being here and listening to this entire episode. If you're the kind of woman that likes to help others, then please share this with your friends, family, and circle, because if you found value, they will too. And if you'd like even more high frequency and life-changing content, please connect with me on Instagram and Threads at Teal Shoop Coaching. Now, one last thing, I do have a personal request. I'm here to help make this world a better place for you and for all. So if you would, please leave a candid 5-star review on your favorite podcast app. I'd be so grateful, and through your big-hearted assistance, together we can help other amazing women just like you thrive. Thank you, big hugs to you, and I'll see you in the next episode.